Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. This is another quick shot review, and boy should I have known how bad this film was going to be based on the film's title. It is Blumhouse's Fantasy Island. Take the Blumhouse out and just call it Fantasy Island. It's not difficult. Have the Blumhouse thing in, you know it's going to be bad. Directed by Jeff Wadlow and written by Gillian Jacobs as the top billing for the script. I don't think I want my name attached to this, to be honest. Michael Pena is so much better than what the script suggests. He plays Mr. Rourke. Hello, Rourke. Watching, I don't know if you do. Spire. Hi. Maggie Q plays Gwen Owen and is the shining light in this film. She plays Gwen Owen Olsen rather brilliantly, although you know what she's written into is terrible as a fantasy. Lucy Hale plays Melanie Cole, the one that was bullied at school and then becomes hot, but she's incredibly thin and it's not hot to me anyway. You know, like, so she becomes this person who wants to get revenge on people for not being very nice to her, and then she turns not very nice, and there's a moral to it. And no, I don't want morals in my horror movies. I want people to die. That's what horror movies are. Austin Stowell plays Patrick Sullivan. His fantasy is to become an army person, a soldier, and following his dad's footsteps, something that he was never allowed to do. Then we've got Jimmy O Yang, who plays Brax. Who thought of that name? Brax. Brax Weaver, who is the gay brother of Ryan Hansen, who plays JD Weaver. So they're two brothers, and they're like, yeah, dude, and slapping high fives and like, yeah, party, woo, yeah. Now let's see. So their fantasy is to have a giant party where all the women flock to Ryan, who flock to JD, and all the men flock to Brax. And then there's a lot of people who look pretty and wearing small pants and things. Michael Rooker is in this film as well. I want to mention that. He is the CID agent or the FBI agent or whatever who has infiltrated the island. He came in as a guest and he's now running around the island scaring people and doesn't really do much. You may remember him from the original season of The Walking Dead. He played Merle. And he plays a chap called Damon. Doesn't really do a lot. Leads them through water, tells them there's sea snakes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we get these people who have these fantasies, and Mr. Rourke then grants those fantasies, and it turns out he has a fantasy of his own, which is why he's on the island in the first place. Don't want to spoil that too much, but it is a terrible, terrible script. It is an awful, awful film. It feels like there's lots of writers and they go, oh yeah, why don't we put this in? So they bring that in there. And then it's a bit like the Minority Report. So they bring another thing in. And they try and connect them together and it doesn't work. It's like putting Lego and Duplo together and it doesn't quite fit together. And it's bad. Bad. Terrible film. I know I said The Invisible Man was the first time I wanted to walk out of a film since having my Odeon card, not a paid promotion. This film made me want to roll over and go to sleep. It was boring. Nothing happened. I didn't care for the characters. And that was the point of the film. You wanted to care for the characters because they're having these fantasies and these things have happened to you. What if this has happened to you? What would your fantasy be? My fantasy wouldn't be to strap a bully to a chair and torture them. It would be not to ever see them again. Maybe that'd be the same thing on Fantasy Island, but I don't know. I mean, you just don't go near the bully. And 20 years later, get over it. Get over it, love. Come on. You know, you're an adult. Be adult. Go adulting. Not commit adultery, but go adulting. Try it. It's not very fun at times, but, you know, it's one of the things that we all have to do when we grow up. So, yes. There we go. So, Blumhouse's Fantasy Island. It was my worst fantasies, worst fears all rolled into one film, all fulfilled in an hour and a bit. It was terrible, it was awful, it was a horror remake that wasn't really horror of a 1970s TV programme based on the same thing. It was an island where people came and said, oh, I want to do this, and they gave it to them, but they have to see the fantasy through to its natural conclusion, and that's what we're reminded of all the way through the film. So natural conclusions to fantasies, whether that be good or whether that be bad. And it all rolls round into one major plot point, major twist that you could see coming from a mile away from across the Pacific Ocean. And it was terrible. Terrible plot twist, no reason, rhyme for it. Just no. That being said, if you want to go and see Blumhouse and subject yourself to some real torture, then go and see it. If you have seen it already and you enjoyed it, get in contact with us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you feel like me and you didn't enjoy it, get in contact with us. Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. If you like the film, or if you like this video, get tapping. Tell all your friends about it, and click the subscribe button and the notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel, and get your t-shirts at closetoorder.com. Gives it a little bit of a kickback, get a really cool t-shirt with lots of designs on there, including some of the wrestlers from Aspire, including Conor Mayhem and Classy Kyle Gibson. They are available now on the Close to Order shop. And with all my plugs done, you are the Cheap Shot Nation. I sit through these films so you potentially don't have to, but if you want to go and see it, then that's your choice. It's all about opinion, it's all about individuality. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Hiya.